Deakin University Global Islamic Politics Chair, Professor Greg Barton, on the line from Indonesia. What does this, Greg, great to see you again, what does this tell us about the evolving nature of hybrid warfare using things like drones?
Good to be with you, Steve. It's not just this attack, but all of the recent developments with Ukraine and Russia fighting each other with particularly first-person view drones. It's thought that most of the Russian casualties now fighting in Ukraine are killed by first-person drones. In this case, 117 quadcopters carrying payloads of just 3 kilograms caused $7 billion US damage. And as you said, it's thought perhaps as many as 40 aircraft, a third of the strategic cruise missile fleet taken out. That's not just sort of a minor irritation. This suggests that small quadcopters can be, as potent as multi-million-dollar missiles in the damage they can do. Of course, this was also a major intelligence operation because these quadcopters were launched from trucks driven by unwitting Russian truck drivers parked near the perimeters of these Russian air bases, these 5 Russian air bases, some as far away as Siberia or up in the Arctic Circle.
I guess the advantage Australia's got, Greg, and it's a big advantage we've always had. We're a big island and huge distances, and these types of weaponry, as I understand it, don't have great range. They've got to be taken close to the target they're aimed to destroy. And we've seen, obviously, a lot of drones used in the Gaza conflict. So should we be a little relaxed given our geography?
No, unfortunately, we shouldn't be a little bit relaxed, Steve. When we do go to fight in wars, and we've fought in many alongside Britain and America and other allies, we're in the Middle East, we're in Asia, we're on the front lines far from our continent. And in those new, future battlefield scenarios, drones, whether in the air, on the land, on the surface or under the surface of the sea, will play a very important role. That has to be our business in terms of defence, but also in terms of offence. We need to be able to rely on using this latest technology in a very effective way. If a country as badly done by as Ukraine, under as much pressure as Ukraine can fight a former superpower, Russia, in the way that it's doing, then a middle-sized power like Australia can do much more than we've done historically if we adapt these new kind of weapons. So it's not so much our continent, it's the front lines we'll be going to in future.
Unless I've missed it, there hasn't been a huge reaction from Russia. Does that surprise you?
No, it's not surprising. We're also in the middle of an information war, of course, Steve. So, we've got to take with a grain of salt what Ukraine says, but also especially what Russia's saying. They said some old buildings were hit. There were some mysterious explosions, nothing to see here. But we've got all these satellite images of burnt out, multi-million-dollar long-range bombers lying on the tarmac. Russia's tried to drag them away and cover up, so it's kind of hard to figure out what's happened. But there's a big gap between the satellite imagery and what Russia is saying happened. This is clearly a big shock for them. You wouldn't want to be a senior officer in the FSB or the Russian military at the moment. You certainly wouldn't want to go near a window or a balcony because there's going to be a lot of scapegoats, a lot of questions to be asked. This is a major moral blow for Russia, but also a morale boost for Ukraine, and it comes at just the right time.
Greg, great to catch up and get some intel from you. Good on you, mate.